As soon as I created the poem, The Arrow and the Song, I felt the need to add a supplement to that poem in the form of critical analysis. The moment I uploaded the poem, I saw a lot of other versions of the same poem people have made and they have put it. There seems to be a lot of discrepancy, so hence the need for this critical analysis of the poem, The Arrow and the Song. Now let us take the deeper meaning of the poem and all the three stanzas together. Whatever appropriate stanza will come up here. Okay. So the first point is, now let us look at the first paragraph, first stanza. In a poem, it is not paragraph, we call it a stanza. That's the first stanza. It just means that the poet was playing. He was playing with bow and arrow. Why not? In different times, children have played with very different kinds of toys. If you look at the 80s and the 90s children, they had very different toys. There is a story that depicts George Washington playing with an axe. So you can't say who, in what times, with what kind of toys they have played. And according to the poet, you just have to take the literal meaning of the words in the first stanza. There is no symbolic meaning. Just because the word friend appears in the third paragraph, we cannot say that this poem is for friendship. It is not at all for friendship. It is just the situation in which a poet finds himself always. They write a poem, they do not know whether it is going to be admired by people, whether it's going to be appreciated by people. That is all there is to it. The friend mentioned in the last stanza is not a friend of the poet. It could be anybody. All such people who read the poem and they felt a brightness in their heart because of the poem, and that brightness leads to some awakening in the mind to admire the poem. That feeling alone is described. So any person who gets that feeling is actually a fan of the poet, but the poet considers him a friend because of this kindness, or you can say a gesture. This is a kind gesture from the readers towards the poet to appreciate his work. Like you can see some work. Now this is very good example to compare with YouTube itself. So many people upload a lot of videos. Do you admire all of them? But some you really admire so much. That exactly is the thing. So the poet is on the lookout for who are those people who have really read the poem and appreciated it. Because a person who appreciates the poem, he will have the entire poem by heart in his mind. Suppose somebody likes a video very much, they will repeat the exact words said by a person, though they might have heard it only one time. That is called admiration people have for any work of art. So the first answer just is simple. The poet played with the bow and arrow, and the arrow went and fell somewhere. You cannot say that this arrow is symbolic of angry or rude words said by people. Not at all, because the poet says that he found the arrow unbroke. Right? See, children play with toys. And I have seen that they may find their toy later on, and it may be unbroke. Yes, most of the time it is unbroke because children would have lost the toy in such a place where nobody would go again and tamper with the toys. Okay, so you have to take a literal meaning. One big reason why you cannot say that this arrow is actually the rude words or angry words sent out by people, so it goes and hurts people, and hence when the poet went back and met a person, he finds the angry words in that is all nonsense. It's not at all like that. Why? Because suppose a person is rude and those rude remarks stay in a person's heart. This is what will happen to the angry word. See, a person may forget. There can be many kind of people. Some people will simply forget easily. Even if you are very rude, they are very large-hearted, they are very kind, they will forget. Some people, they are not magnanimous, they are not large-hearted, but they easily forget things. If you remind them of some rude words from some person, they may remember it. Yet there are some people who get hurt. They are very emotional, they are very sentimental, they get hurt easily, and they keep it in their mind and they keep torturing themselves. There are yet other kind of people who will have the rude remarks, the hurt feelings inside their heart, and they will start torturing other people. They will not do anything to themselves, but they will torture each and every person inside, the family, the friends, whoever comes inside, they'll throw their anger on those people. So the people are of various kinds. You cannot say that angry words, if they go from the mouth straight, it is always there in the heart, unbroken. No, it's not at all like that. Another thing that will happen, in spite of these different kinds of people, one more thing will happen. The rude remarks which we remember and we are keeping an account of, that will start rotting within us. Okay, suppose there is a wound, and this wound is, you don't treat it and you try to just leave it there. What will happen? Pus will start oozing out. In the same way, any feeling of resentments that the heart is going on nurturing, it will ooze out a very stinky infection. How? Whatever that person does, in some incident while talking, suddenly it will come. Yeah, something like this had happened to me. So, a past memory will keep coming. When you least remember, it will just come up like that. I hope you followed what I said. Okay. So, the rude remarks, if it stays within, it is going to sting. You may not realize it, but it will come up in your various interactions. Somewhere you will tell, yeah, this thing had happened with me. I remember, this is how it is. So that stinky odor will keep coming in various places, and it will keep affecting his life. You can't say it is unbroken. It is rotting like anything. Okay, so the arrow is just you have to take literal meaning that the poet found the arrow back, it was unbroken. And the poem, but he says but the poem was there in the heart of the friends. So he found a toy also somewhere, and he found the poem also somewhere. So it is not angry words at all, that the rude remarks of people that may hurt people, and they will nurture. If they nurture those feelings, this is what is going to happen. And yes, all human beings, we do that. All of us, even me, including me, I must see, it will manifest somewhere. It will. None of us are very holy. We are all in the flesh. We are all very sinful. We will not forget and forgive easily. See, forgetting is different, forgiving is different. So when people have been rude, and you just nurture those feelings in your heart. There's nothing you can do about it. It will be a wound that has stayed inside long, and because it is there rotting inside, it will start oozing out the pus. Now this is symbolic. How does this pus actually manifest in all past experiences? Okay, it will manifest has a emotion from the past experience, and yeah, people will feel irritated with it that this person always brings up that incident, and a feeling from some past experience that is marring his life also, and also the people of others. So that is actually what happens to hurt feelings. People who hurt others, they have a responsibility. They have to go and talk to these people and say sorry to them that they have been rude, and this also has to be done before sunset. But how many people are going to realize that they have been rude to somebody, and they may go and talk to that person and pacify them and say, sorry, I was rude to you? Nobody is going to do that. You see, people who speak hurtful, they won't realize that they have been hurt. So the responsibility lies on the person who got hurt. If you got hurt, don't allow that wound to stay there. If possible, walk up to that person and say, see, you have hurt me. Just express. See what happens. Most of the time, the person may not bother. Okay, but you need to heal your hurt feelings. There's only one way to heal your hurt feelings. You have to just go to God. He alone, nobody on earth can heal the hurt feelings of anybody. Leave alone realizing. No person who has been rude is going to realize that they hurt anybody. And no human also can heal your hurt feelings. You have to heal your hurt feelings yourself. So this is not biology or psychology. This is theology. Okay, and biology and whatever thing, psychology, everything can go wrong, but theology can never go wrong. And you have to bear this in mind. Since there is so much to hurt feelings and rude remarks, the poet cannot be using this to be depicting in his poem. In his poem, he has only depicted that he played with an arrow, a bow and arrow when he was a child, and he lost the toy, but he did find the toy. And when he was a young adult, that time he has written a poem. He did not know where the poem went, because, well, see, a writer will want to know who all read his prose or poetry, and they literally live only on appreciation. Have you not seen YouTubers also saying, all the YouTube creators, they want appreciation because they live only on that. They don't look forward to money. Most artists are like that. Okay, so it is just that, he is expressing his gratitude that yes, he found his poem in the heart of a friend, because that the friends are the people who have admired his poem. Even in this current generation, all of us who are reading the poem Arrow and the song and appreciating it, we are his fans, but he looks upon us as a friend, because a friend is a person who is good-natured and kind to others. So for him, our good nature and kindness is that we appreciate his poem. That's all there is to this poem. There is no deeper meaning and all. And the word friend should not be misunderstood, that this poem is a poem on friendship. It is not a poem on friendship. It is a poem on an artist's work, and whether what are the expectation of an artist regarding his work of art.